The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is the Eagles Sports Network. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman running backs coach Josh Turner. Josh, position preview time for the backfield. And I suppose no shock, given Carson-Newman football historically, but a loaded room. Lots of talent returning, including, it feels like it's been a minute, but the reigning freshman of the year in the league in Troy Dindy. And you bring in a guy in Ryan McCarthy from New Haven, who was a two-time All-Super Region 1 performer for the Chargers. Not to mention about a slew of guys who have been in the program for a minute. How talented, how deep is the running back room for 2021?
It's definitely a fun room to be in. There's a lot of guys that have the ability to play, that have shown and been productive for us in the past, that did some things this spring. So there's a lot of competition.
You think about that competition. Troy Dindy, first freshman to rush for 200 yards in a game. Again, been a minute since he did it, but against Limestone. Ryan McCarthy, a known commodity. Drake McCow and Sharon Jackson, both guys that have rushed for 100 yards in games in their careers. You throw those four out there. What are the commonalities? What are the differences in what they can give you on the field?
Gosh, the commonality is, they're all incredibly hard workers. They're all selfless. They will go and block for the guy beside them. They're not so into themselves that they've got to be the guy with the ball. We get to Wise last year, and Ron, who does a lot of things great with the ball, is the one that sprung Drake on an isolation, and he goes in there, he'll blow people up, he'll sacrifice his body so that somebody else can get yardage. Troy did the same thing for Mike at Wise. So all those guys are willing to get in there. They're not afraid to go block, and they've all got their own special little gifts as far as running the ball.
Then you have a group that has been with the program, has shown moments when they've gotten in late in games, but E.J. Davis, Malcolm Hogue, Michael Paul, all physically very imposing, very impressive individuals. What leads you to believe that they're ready to take their game to that next level?
Oh, goodness. Good question. The big thing with that whole room in general is there's not a whole lot of difference in between them. Yeah. It's going to come down to really who makes the least amount of mistakes. Again, I can't say enough. EJ's one of those guys that comes in, he does everything right. He gives you everything. He'll go sacrifice to block for somebody else, and when he gets the ball, the first person's not bringing him down. Mike's a little different. He's same deal. He'll go in there and blow it up. I think he had. Four or five big cuts against Wise. He's probably a little more shiftier, top speed guy. Malcolm, absolutely love Malcolm. He's kind of stepped into that leadership vocal role early in his career in that room, and he's another guy that knows the whole offense. He goes full tilt all the time. You just love watching him play. And again, the commonality there that he'll get in there and sacrifice, go block, throw his body out there for somebody else to get yardage. But all three of those guys, you get them the ball, they're going to make somebody miss. They're going to make multiple people to bring them down.
How nice has the competition been to bring the room along and further progress people? The fact that there is just that narrow window between all of them.
Well, the great thing is they like it. They don't want to be in a room where they're the only guy. So, they enjoy competing against each other. It makes it fun, and it also it brings out the best of them in practice.
Through the years, the program has had freshman running backs step up and do big things. Troy Dindy comes to mind, offensive freshman of the year. Antonio Wimbush before him, Andy Hibbett way back in the day. T.J. King, Jaden Sullins, Jelon Pearson, guys that, when their papers came in on signing day, the coaching staff was excited. Yes. What sticks out to you about that group and what they can bring to the table?
Jelon's a guy that you'll see without a doubt on some special teams. He's a very shifty young man. He's hard to bring down because he's hard to catch. He's quick. He's at the same time he's one of those kids that'll get in there and he'll he'll go attack somebody that's 3 times his size and probably say something while he's doing it. Gotta love that kid. TJ King is one that found a spot, on special teams this past spring, going to Wise. So he'll find a way to get out there and contribute. And Jaden is one of those kids we're excited to have. He's got great hands. He does some incredible things. When he gets his hands on the ball. So excited about all 3 of those guys.
Really, the thing that will stick out to you about most of Carson-Newman's offensive positions is that, you want to be able to run the ball. Right. But there's a lot of other little things that go into running the ball well, and obviously one of those is blocking. Right. You alluded to it earlier with Michael Paul, the axe that is presented right. to whoever the top, skill position, skill guy that delivers a crushing block. What does that mean that that's being recognized this year, and that you are putting some recognition on the skill players that are elite blockers?
I think one, we want to show those kids that we value it. That's a big thing, but.
It helps that a former center is the running backs coach too.
Yes, I mean you got to put a little value on putting people on the ground, but no, it's sacrificing your body to go and put somebody else on the ground. We want to celebrate that just as much as we do touchdowns and extra yards. And those kids in that room, those kids in the entire offensive room, they appreciate guys that are going to go out there, not be the one that gets their name called out, over the intercom, but they're going to be the reason that the ball gets where we want it to be. So. We want to recognize it not just on film, but something a little extra for that guy that does the most week in, week out.
Josh Turner, thanks for the time. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Carson-Newman running backs coach Josh Turner. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.